Hello and welcome to everyone. Today our guest is Bkfc fighter Jay Jackson. Jay, congrats on a knockout victory and congrats on the way you defeated your opponent. It was a pretty much dynamic, explosive fight. And what can you say about your victory in Bkfc? How did you train for that fight? How did you prepare? What was the background of your victory? Would you like to credit somebody for the training video? I've seen your Instagram posts that you're crediting some people. So can you please elaborate on that? Thank you.
Oh, how's it going, man? The fight was great. I just when it came to preparation for the fight, it was just the biggest thing about the fight was I just needed to be around people with previous bare knuckle experience. It's a whole different dynamic from kickboxing, MMA, and boxing itself. So I was training with Lorenzo Hunt. I was training with Jason Fish out of Saginaw. And prior to even that, maybe a year and a half back, I was training with Mark Godbeard in Thailand, who was getting ready for Valor, which was another bare knuckle organization in the United States where Ken Shamrock was running. So I was really working on to try to figure out like what are these bare knuckle fighters doing differently than other for this sport. So pretty much it was just like working clinch, working Greco wrestling, and also working the new length, because you don't have a big boxing lever. You don't have the extra 3 inches from from a 8 to 16 ounce glove. You don't have the extra length from the glove. So it was really just timing of like how does it really snap the punch. And it was like I said, it wasn't it I don't know, like since I'm a very durable fighter already, it wasn't really too hard to, just note that, hey, you get hit, it's gonna hurt. You know what I mean? But you're gonna have to keep moving forward even if a small punch gets through or something like that. So don't be afraid to close the distance to try to keep him uncomfortable. So but yeah, that was kind of like going into what the game plan was. I knew that Damon Bell had kickboxing experience and had Muay Thai experience. So I just had to went back to what would be some habits that he will bring in to bare knuckle, which will be clinch work, because you in Muay Thai we clinch, you throw knees. So I was like, all right, well, we'll work on, I worked on getting out the clinch a little bit, and then work on my own clinch and work on rolling out of the clinch like a boxer. So there's just a lot of complex things that I did to get ready for bare knuckle itself, and then mixed in with, okay, this is who Damon Bell is. Let's try to incorporate some of these things that he's going to try to throw into and what he let's try to throw into to work on these things that we feel like he's going to throw into this fight, which would be like a lot of clinch and closing the distance. So that was pretty much the game plan going into that fight.
Why did you transition from MMA to bare knuckle, and what made you transition into one of the fastest growing sports in the world?
Just like I like to bang, I like to throw hands. So that was the biggest part. I think it's way more entertaining, and I really want to see how it tastes to hit someone with bare knuckles and get hit with bare knuckles. So I wanted to take off the gloves.
How did you feel heading towards the BKFC ring? I know you're a pretty much experienced fighter. You have a lot of fights in other sports, but was it your first BKFC match, or you had a few more BKFC matches prior?
No, this was my first one, and I felt nervous because it was one of the biggest crowds I ever fought in front of, and but I was also calm because, of course, I had experience. So, it was just the feelings were just regular fight jitters.
Do you have the favorite punch?
Do I have a favorite punch? Uh, I want to say the overhand right, but yeah, that's my favorite punch.
When did you start training martial arts in the first place, and which was the first martial art you trained?
My first mixed martial arts, my first MMA fight would land in probably like 2000 and I want to say 2011. So I've been training. I was boxing for a while though. I was boxing first for local Golden Glove shows, and then the next we had next door we had an MMA gym. The wall shook because they kept slamming, like they kept wrestling. So we're like, I got interested. I looked over and they were doing MMA. So while I was doing Golden Gloves boxing, I jumped over to MMA and had my first MMA fight. I want to say about 2012. So I've been doing this for about a good 10 years.
Who was the hardest MMA opponent you've ever met and why?
My hardest MMA opponent. Oh man. Um, Undergroundly, there's this guy in Michigan. I'm gonna call him Mr. Butler. I always tell people this story. He kicked my butt so bad in the gym that it just gave me a drive to try to be better. He didn't go. He's not a professional right now. He's just a hardworking dude who just does jujitsu right now. But yeah, it would be Mr. Butler, who's probably one of the strongest fighters that I had ever worked with, in outside the cage.
What are your plans for the future at the moment? Do you plan to stay at bare knuckle or you plan something else in the moment?
At the moment, I'm just right now. I'm gonna stick to bare knuckle for a while. I think that's my new home, and I'm gonna try to give you guys a couple more entertaining shows. I'm trying to see what I got in me.
Do you plan to improve some of your bare knuckle aspects in the future? For example, defense, offense, footwork, movement. Do you understand the question?
Yeah, of course. I'm planning on. Yes, I'm just like more head movement. Keep working on that footwork and just figuring out how to get comfortable with the with faster with the faster pace of a bare knuckle fight,
Would
because
you
I know
like?
they're going to get faster.
Yeah. Please say, please.
Yeah, I know it's going to get faster. You know what I mean? Just with no gloves on, it's going to get faster. So, I just feel like just more head movement, more footwork. That's definitely my plan.
Would you like to greet somebody or to give a shout out to somebody in this interview? Is there maybe something we forgot to say about you? Would you like to add something, please?
Ah, dude, I just want to thank you for having me on your podcast. I totally appreciate it. You know what? I just want to thank my training camp. Want to thank Smith Brothers. Thank Lorenzo Hunt. Thank Jay Fish. Thank Coops Ironworks in Saginaw, Michigan, and just thank everyone who participated in watching my fight. I appreciate it. I had a really great time, and I'm happy I was able to put on a show for you guys.
Thank you so much, Jay. I will upload this tomorrow. I will send you link.
All right, brother. Have a good day, man.
All right. Goodbye, Jay.
Bye.